Hi guys, it's Sam, and I am back today with a new video, but first, in case you haven't noticed, I have new glasses. That's right, I have glasses to wear all the time now. I had glasses before, but I would only read them while reading on the computer, but these I can wear all the time, and yeah, still getting a little bit used to that. Fancy new glasses. But as I said, I am back today with a new video, and that video is my September book haul. I actually still have 2 books coming, but I don't know when they're gonna come. One is not supposed to come till next month because it is a book coming from England, and I believe it had a delivery date like October 2nd to October 29th, so. But it's a classic. It's Lady Audley's Secret, I think it is. It's one of the Penguin English Library editions, which I really think is cool, and I got it used for like $4, and it's coming from England. So it's gonna be wild. The other one is The Mists of Avalon by Marion Zimmer. It was another used book I got on Amazon for like $4, and I don't know where it is. It should have been here by now, but we're just gonna go with it. I don't know when it's gonna come, but yeah. Also, I am not planning on buying really too many books now until after Christmas because of Christmas coming up. So I know a few I'm going to get. Like next month I am going to pre-order Patrick Rothfuss' newest book that is coming out, as well as My True Love Gave to Me, I think is called, which is a collection of Christmas short stories. Maybe one or two other books that are like the next in a series I might get between then and Christmas. If I do, what I do end up getting, I'll probably just show in the haul at the end of the year or something. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. But yeah, I'm not planning on buying too many books. Not only because Christmas is coming up, but also because I want to get through some of the books in my TBR pile because I have a ton of books. So yeah, I'm just gonna like pace myself, you know, step back and try to control my book buying purchasing habits. I don't know, it was with ninja hands. So let us start with my September book haul. So the first book I have here is Outlive from the Baggers Trilogy, book 1 by Leto, and I actually got this from him as a review copy. He asked me to review his book, and I said sure. It's a dystopian book. It takes place in the future, but the basic premise is this guy in the future, he has no means to kind of earn money anymore, and in order to get money to take care of his wife and children, he signs up for these basically gladiator games. So people can sign up and they can get paid money to fight in these games to basically, you know, fight each other to the death. Basically like the gladiator games in ancient Rome, only it's set in the future. So it sounded interesting, so I'm interested to read it. The next book I got was The Sonnets by William Shakespeare. This is one of the Pelican Shakespeare classics. I really like these editions. I think they look pretty cool. I've always liked Shakespeare sonnets. I haven't read all of them, obviously. I've only read some of them, but I thought, hey, why not? And I got it used for like $3 on Amazon, and it came in pretty good condition. I was pretty happy with it. So that was the next one I got. I'm excited to just kind of read these at a leisurely pace, just kind of read one here or there. So that was the second book. The next 2 books I got are the next 2 books in the Girl of Fire and Thorns trilogy. So I have The Crown of Embers and The Bitter Kingdom. As you know from my August wrap-up and review video I did on The Girl of Fire and Thorns, I absolutely loved this book and I could not wait to finish it. So I had to get the next 2 books in the trilogy so I can finish it out, and I just love these covers. I really, really do. I especially like the Bitter Kingdom one. I think that just looks so cool. The next book I got was The Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. So I loved Throne of Glass, and I couldn't wait to get the next book, and I was waiting for the second one to come out in paperback, so it will match my first one, which is also in paperback. I don't know what I'm going to do about the third one because it usually takes them a while when they're new to come out in paperback. I'll probably just end up getting the hardback and then eventually get the paperback, so they'll all match. I have a thing about my books matching and being the same size. I just do. I can't help it. Once I buy one in paperback or hardback, I have to have all the rest in paperback or hardback. It's just the way I am. But I got the second one, so I'm excited to read it. I hear this series just keeps getting better and better, so of course I needed to pick it up. The next book I got was Home for Christmas, Stories for Young and Old. That is a collection of short stories, which I thought was cool because it's not only from some modern authors, but it also includes little-known European tales not available in English anywhere else. So I was excited to pick it up. One of the authors, too, is Madeleine L'Engle. I can never say her last name right, but she's the one that wrote, like, the Wrinkle in Time books, which I read the first one, and I didn't really much care for the others, but that's beside the point. She's still a good writer. So I'm excited to read this one. As you may know if you watch my videos regularly, I love Christmas. It's my favorite time of the year. I live for Christmas. I mean, my room will literally be decorated by mid-November, it will be decked out in Christmas decorations. That's how much I love Christmas. But this book was really cool, and I got this one used on Amazon too for only $4, and it was in excellent condition. It looks like nobody touched this at all. And what I thought was cool too is that there are a ton of woodcut illustrations throughout the book. So it's a really cool form of art. My dad's always loved woodcuts, so he thought that was kind of cool when I showed it to him. But so there's just a lot of those in here, which I thought was pretty cool. It's really nice. So I'm excited to read this one. I'm probably going to read it in November, I'm thinking, as well as some other Christmas books I have, and I'm going to be getting, like the My True Love Gave to Me, I think is what it's called. I might have that title wrong. I'll put it on the screen here so you guys know what I'm talking about. I'll probably start reading those in November, including the Charles Dickens one, the collection of his Christmas short stories I have, which, by the way, if you guys want me to host a read-along, I know somebody mentioned me doing that, doing a read-along with Charles Dickens Christmas stories, because he has tons of different Christmas short stories. I will totally do that in December, so let me know down in the comments if you guys are interested in me doing that and if you would like to participate, because I think it's a cool idea and I'm kind of excited to do it, so just let me know. So the next 3 books I got at Barnes & Noble. My coworkers and I decided to make another trip to Barnes & Noble during our lunch hour, and I saw one of these, and then my sister and I went and I got the other 2. So the first one I got was A Heart's Blood by Juliete Marillier, I think. I'm not really sure if you say her name Marillier or Marillier. I've heard people pronounce it both. So I picked up this one. As you guys know, I love Juliete Marillier, or Marillier, and I love her Seven Water series, but I haven't really read many of her other books, and I know she has another series, Shadowfell, and I know she has another series starting in November. This is one of her standalones, and it sounds like a cool story. I don't know really what it's about, which I like. I like not knowing what a book's about and going into it, reading it blind. The next book I got at Barnes & Noble is Midnight Queen by Sylvia Izzo Hunter, and I absolutely love this cover. It is so cool. Look at that. It just looks really, really, really nifty. Nifty. I don't really know why I said nifty. It looks nifty. It's like an alternate historical fantasy story. So it takes place, I think, what would be like the Victorian era in London at Oxford's Merlin College, where these people learn magic, and then like this murder happens, and then people are blaming the main character or something. That just seems to be the basis of the plot. I don't really know exactly what it's about. Again, I like to go in books not knowing totally what they're about, but it just seemed really, really intriguing from the synopsis on the back, and it was just sitting, it was a new release, I think it was on the new release shelf. But what I didn't realize this until after I got it home, but Juliete Marillier, or Marillier, put a little blurb on the back here, because apparently she feels it's a stunning story of magic, scholarship, and true love. Sylvia Izzo Hunter brings both rural Brittany and an alternative Regency England to vivid life. So apparently it takes place in Regency England. So she blurbed on it, and I love her. I'm going to trust her opinion and assume it's good. The next book I got is a nonfiction book, and that book is How the Irish Saved Civilization by Thomas Cahill. It looked really interesting. It's not a very big one, and I've read several books on Irish history, and I know what he's talking about. During the Dark Ages, and most people aren't aware of this, but Ireland was the center of learning for a very long time. A lot of kings and wealthy people would send their children to Ireland to learn and be educated at the monasteries. Of course, this was before the Vikings started invading and the English invaded and such, but kind of explains that and how the monks and Ireland preserved a lot of the world history at the time, a lot of the knowledge that was had. They would go to mainland Europe and get the information, come back, and then scribe it out, rewrite it all. And so a lot of the stuff that was lost in mainland Europe due to barbarian invasions and stuff, how, stuff was burned, a lot of it was preserved by the Irish monks. So it looks like it'll be an interesting read. I can't wait. I was kind of read the first little bit where we were in the car driving back to work, and it's a pretty engaging read. He writes in such a way that it's engaging. It's written in a way that I think it'll be easy to get through. So I was excited to find this guy and pick it up and read it a little bit more about this topic. The next 2 books are probably the 2 that I was most excited for this month. The first book that I got, I actually already own, but it is Patrick Rothfuss, The Wise Man Fear. Well, my coworker's husband was passing through the Minneapolis airport, and he told her that there were signed copies in the airport, and she asked me if I would want one. I'm like, yeah. So anyway, he was able to pick me up one, and it was signed by Patrick Rothfuss himself. You can see his signature there. I was so excited. This is one of the first signed copies I've ever had. Phantom's Dance was the first one, but I've never had a book signed by an author I absolutely adore before, so I was so excited to have this, so I'm going to put it on my shelf, display it, and look at it and be like, Patrick Rothfuss touched this. Which sounds kind of weird, but anyway, I was really excited for that, so I finally have a signed edition of one of his books. The next book that I have here, I was so beyond excited to get. And it was taking forever to get here, but it finally came, and it is The Acts of King Arthur and His Noble Knights by John Steinbeck. That's right, John Steinbeck. I had no idea he ever wrote a fantasy book. This was his first and only fantasy book he ever wrote. Les Mortes d'Arthur by Sir Thomas Malory is what got him into reading and writing, and he wanted to do his own retellings of these stories for future generations because he feels that it would be important for future generations to read these and experience the same joys that he had. Like it says here on the blurb that I'll read you because I just think it's great. Some people there are who, being grown, forget the horrible task of learning to read. It is perhaps the greatest single effort that the human undertakes, and he must do it as a child. I think my sense of right and wrong, my feeling of noblesse oblige, and any thought I may have against the oppressor and for the oppressed came from this secret book. For a long time I have wanted to bring to present-day usage the stories of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. These stories are alive even in those of us who have not read them. I agree, John Steinbeck. You watch my channel, you'll know that I love Arthurian legends, I love retellings, and I still actually need to read all of Les Mortes d'Arthur. I plan on getting that soon and reading through it. So once I found, and I love John Steinbeck, I read The Grapes of Wrath, I've read Of Mice and Men, and I need to read his other books, but I love his writing and he does it so well. So as soon as I found out that he wrote this, I had to get it. And I just stumbled upon it. I don't even remember where I stumbled upon it. I think I was looking on Amazon for a certain type of penguin, a classic edition, and I discovered that he wrote this, and I was like, I need it in my life. And I got this used for $4, and it was hardcover, and it came in really, really good condition, which I was happy. So that's the cover, so you can revel in its glory. And he kind of did like, they did an illuminated lettering on the front, and then the back, the cover itself, if you take off the dust jacket, I really, really like. I love the spine. I don't know if you guys can see the spine, but it looks super, super cool. So I'm really excited to read this. I think it'll be really good. And as it says here, Malory's Mortes d'Arthur was the first book that John Steinbeck truly enjoyed reading as a child. Here now is Steinbeck's only work of fantasy literature, his modernization of the adventures of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Fascinated by the Arthurian tales of adventure, knighthood, honor, and friendship, in addition to the challenging nuances of the original Anglo-Saxon language, Steinbeck set out to render these stories faithfully and with keen animation for a modern audience. So I will definitely be reading this soon. I cannot wait to see his take on Arthurian legends, and I just think it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant that he wrote this. So, the book I was most excited about this month. Alright guys, that was my September book haul. Let me know if there's any of these books that you want me to read soon, that you want me to talk about and maybe do a review on. Let me know down in the comments. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what your thoughts were on them. And as always guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, happy reading and bye! Hello everyone, it is Sam, and I am here today with an exciting video for you today. It is my top 10 favorite books